All right, we're now live. So the debate finished just a little bit of just a little while ago, around I believe it was 8 o'clock Pacific time. I'm not sure what time Eastern or other times. I believe it was 8 o'clock. Let me just turn that off. I apologize for that. That was a little bit of sound back. I just removed that part. But I guess we'll start with who had command of the issues, which candidate has a strong understanding of the topics, and perhaps is the most trustworthy. And I know that Joe did not watch the debate, and
Yeah, I couldn't get to it.
well, Joe, I did watch the debate, and I found it, I guess, rather interesting. But there were really no surprises. However, I will say that the two candidates that looked the strongest to me were Vivek Ramaswamy and DeSantis. But most of the polls are showing that Ramaswamy won the debate, and he does seem to be the person who is gaining the most momentum in this field. And the one person that was that people had said that was left out of it was Larry Elder, and that is kind of an issue. I guess there aren't going to be too many people out there to come out on this issue, but again, who is the most trustworthy? Who is the most charismatic speaker and connected with the audience most effectively? Now, Ramaswamy, I think, came in with his own fans. He's developed quite a fan base, and basically he has, been on any show that will have him, and he is really a master debater, and just pretty good at just perfectionist. I think the one person that was missed was Larry Elder, and all the rest didn't impress me that much, as far as I can see. And I want to say that as of now, it still feels to a large extent like the Republican Party is still, to a degree, controlled opposition, because social media, basically, both legacy media and social media, control the narrative, and they control what you are allowed to say and what you are not allowed to say. And that is, I guess, kind of an issue. Joe, do you have anything to add as of now? What issues that because right now we are facing another series of lockdowns, mask mandates might be coming up again. Do you have anything to add on that issue?
Well, you can expect for a couple of things to be platformed. Probably the oil industry, which right now was struggling, but they're not going to let the price of oil drop. So, there's, and of course, here in California, gas is hitting some new highs, recent highs. So expect some games to be played with the oil industry, which is going to get pushed up much higher than the current level where it's at, and they're going to use the mask agenda for sure. So it's kind of it's a little distressful. It impacts the work I do in the daytime. So yeah, it's going to be quite a thing to see how this all plays out. Who's going to play the card hardest? Yeah, I agree with. Is that Sandy? Chris Christie hasn't really done a whole lot in a long time for me. He kind of puts people off. What did you think of? I asked you a little bit before the show, but what do you think about Chris Christie in today's deal?
You know, I felt to a degree that he was. I thought that he was the same kind of canned spill, and he was passionate, but I don't think his message is going to resonate with the Trump voters. And the thing about the Trump voters is they truly believe that the election was rigged. And how do you convince? How do you convince the Republican? The majority of what I believe is the majority of the Republican Party that the election was not rigged, because everyone except, I believe that everyone, with the exception of Trump, on that stage, believes that the election was not rigged. And how? But the mainstream of Republicans believe it was. So how do you? My question to them is, how do you convince the the population that are in favor of Trump, that feel he was cheated? How do you convince them that that isn't the case? And in my opinion, they do a rather poor job. Because in my opinion, the mainstream media, or what they call the legacy media, has been very reckless. Ever since Trump got into office, they've been very sanctimonious, and just some of the things that they said, that this was the safest election in history. That is so reckless. There is, that's obviously not true. And the fact that they never said that, this election was unique. The way we did the election was extremely unique. And for them to talk down to people who had concerns is ridiculous. And I'm hearing an put yourself on mute.
Well, listen. There's I think these debates, and I think politics in general, has a severe lack of suretyship, just like the banks. The whole banking industry right now lacks surety, and I think that is, people are fed up with bull. If politicians get on TV and tell lies, who's to say? Why wouldn't they get together and tell lies to each other's faces with the cameras rolling? I don't see the point here. I don't care what these people say in these in private meetings or anything like that. These people have blown their faith. They've blown what little sort of I don't know what it is. They've blown whatever it is they've had left for people to really kind of sink their teeth into and accept. They're questioning everything, as they should. Everything can and everything is now being questioned. And I think it's a good thing. And I don't think that people, just because they don't accept what you're trying to sell them or anybody else is trying to sell them, I think that's perfectly a good, acceptable thing. I don't know why their minds would need to be changed.
Well, again, my opinion is this: there's almost no acknowledgement. I mean, Ramaswamy kind of hits on it, but legacy media basically favors the censorship of the internet, of social media, and that really stops accountability checks. These legacy media individuals and these people who are favored by legacy media don't like to be held accountable. And that is one of the biggest problems that I see with regards to both our mainstream and our social media. I mean, YouTube, I believe, gave the Young Turks $20 million. And they are very reckless, and they're very, like, really lazy people who, Anna now apologizes for her behavior. Anna Kasparian apologizes for her behavior, but she still got the Kyle Rittenhouse story completely wrong. And she got other stories wrong. And social media has also been weaponized against against people they disagree with, and they're able to tap into your bank accounts and other things for wrong think. And that, to me, is a true issue. 2020, they told us there was a contagious virus and that we were to be locked down. And then all of a sudden, we couldn't go even visit our families for, Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah, Thanksgiving. We had to stay inside. We had to stay indoors, with the exception of a BLM protest. And I don't remember Dr. Fauci saying, hey, this is a contagious disease. You cannot go out. You cannot go outside as much as you believe in the cause. You cannot go outside. Where was the rallying cry? If this was such a contagious disease, where was the rallying cry that hey, stay indoors? Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, I just see some people joining in. Brian, do you want to take calls? Do you want to get people to call in and voice their opinions? Go ahead and give that info out if you want.
I'm gonna again. I thought I put the StreamYard out here. Let me do this again. I'll copy the StreamYard here on the app, and anyone who wants to come in can come in here.
There, I put it up there. It's fine.
I also put it in the thing. So the StreamYard is up. If anyone wants to come in and address and ask who they felt was the most strong candidate. And one of the sad things is I can remember when, social media was the wild, wild west. And it's not anymore. And it's just kind of sad that there are a few things that are not allowed to be spoken. And it's primarily, if you want me to be blunt and honest, it is against whites. When they say white supremacy, there's no other group who is stigmatized with white supremacy and racist except for primarily whites. And they use it, other groups use it to their benefit to slander and defame us, and they defamed our law enforcement. But we were all to be inside, and we couldn't go out and counter-protest. And there is certainly, it feels like large hypocrisy, and no one has really explained to me how the large hypocrisy, that it wasn't large hypocrisy, and that this was a good thing. Yeah, make Orwell fiction again. So if no one's going to come on, I don't know if I want to go here to the Republican debate.
Yeah, let's check out some of that debate.
You know what? I just lost my stream on that. So Joey, I don't know if you can stream on that, but right now for whatever reason, I lost my stream on that. But let me take a look at my
If you give me a couple minutes, just bloviate for a little bit. I'll find something.
I'll bloviate a little bit here. And I'm looking at GOP has dysfunctional, unqualified set of candidates who could not be Biden. They include the front runner who would not debate. Perhaps. So I'm just looking at no thanks. I watch Tucker and Trump. Well, come give your opinion.
Oh, your favorite guy, Cenk, is being interviewed.
Oh, that guy, huh? Cenk is being interviewed. Okay. So now, do you have monitor? Wait. JP, you have another.
And raped the daughters and the wives who were left as widows and orphans. This is the Vladimir Putin who Donald Trump called brilliant and a genius. If we don't stand up against this type of autocratic killing in the world, we will be next.
So that was very interesting. So it started by attacking Vivek Ramaswamy for saying that he's basically going to side with Russia. And then he was strong enough to also make it an attack against Trump. And what was interesting is he had the crowd and he made the choice that DeSantis didn't make in the debate. Mm-hmm. He had the crowd on his side and he attacked Trump anyway, knowing that he might partly lose the crowd. Because in order to catch Trump, you have to beat Trump, right? Whereas DeSantis would make veiled attacks against Trump, or did once, but never mentioned his name and never made the pivot that you just saw Christie make. And that was the one part where Vivek looked like he was off his game. He was super confident and cocky the whole night. Like, some people might like it. So I guarantee you right now, mainstream media is all saying Vivek was the worst. He was the biggest clown, the most ridiculous.
All right. So where are you at with this? Are you in agreement with Cenk so far?
To me, the funding of the Ukraine, it leaves uncertain of strategic outcomes. There's no guarantee that funding will yield the political desire or the outcomes, leading to a potential waste of resources. And it seems like there are people that want to give a blank check. Could be wrong on this, but it is a financial burden, and it seems like we are the ones, giving the largest financial burden to this issue, and for humanitarian reasons, and I guess they say supporting democracy by funding the Ukraine, we could support the country's effort to embrace democratic values and reforms, even though the Ukraine is not that, is not necessarily a democracy. And again, it's a financial burden. It perhaps could risk escalation. And there are also corruption concerns with that issue. And I guess there are a few people that don't take that into account. So not really my thing. And
the presidential primary debate just to our north in Milwaukee. 8 hopefuls will face off tonight. You can see them on your screen, but there's one candidate.
What?
This is old. This has already been. I mean, like he's talking about tonight.
Oh, I know. He said a few things that were pretty good in there, but it takes a minute to get to. I'll leave that for later.
Now, Penny Fries says that Vivek would make a good VP for Trump. Now, Vivek has said that he does not want to be the VP, but you never know exactly what's going to happen. And again, I mention this again, a large majority of and I think a majority of Republicans believe that the election was stolen, believe that there was foul play. And I don't think that they have convinced these Republicans that that was not the case. I'm still unsure of it myself. The one thing I do say is the behavior of our legacy media is very reckless on this issue. And the behavior of the people who believe that the election was not stolen is in many ways extremely reckless and condescending. These elites they don't talk to these people. They talk at them, not to them or with them. At least acknowledge certain things that happen that lead up to the distrust.
Brian, what do we need to see to get more people involved? That's what this is all lacking. There's no lust. There's no anything to really appeal to anybody on these platforms anymore, it seems. But what could they do differently? What could they do to get more people active and vested in what they're selling?
Number one, they can get together. You know, I'm forming Walk Against the Woke, and I really got it from the idea of Walk Against Hate, which is the ADL. The ADL has been an albatross to civility within our society. And because they shut down one group, that group is subject to abuse, and our cities have become hellholes because of this. The way in which social media has been used to strengthen far leftist groups, and legacy media is also there to strengthen these far leftist groups that are very toxic and extremely problematic. Social media has made things more problematic and more toxic within this society. It's become an unforgiving society, a hypocritical society, and a very egocentric society. And what I'm saying for those who are against the woke, those who know it's wrong, use your dollar. The Bud Light should just be the beginning. If people disrespect you, because they're not going to talk to you, the only way to deal with them is to say, hey, you know what? If you're not going to respect me or even listen to me as a human being, then I'm not going to buy your product. As a matter of fact, I'm going to actively boycott what you're selling. That's what we need to do. And I'm thinking about holding our Christmas Against the Woke at the Reagan or near the Reagan Library. That is my main thing right now. And it should be primarily economic. Two things that 2020 taught us. Number one, the pen is mightier than the sword, and money is more powerful than your voice. My thing is, I think we need to expand boycotts, and we need to write letters, and then we also need to seek legal action. Anyway, Joe, I don't think anyone's going to join us.
The economy is being driven down, and it's no accident. This is all by design, and so the everything's on fire right now. There's pressure in almost every single money market there is, and it's kind of putting a damper on things. I expect that something like the oil, the gas, if right now it's at that, I think $79, $80 range, if it holds on to that at that level for any time while the feds work their magic or whatever, that they're going to drive that price way up into the 90s. So there you go. I mean, that could make a lot of people happy going into this voting season. I'm not sure, but I don't know that there's thousands upon thousands of products that are made with oil and that derive, the derivative market in oil is just insanely large. So it impacts so much. Our numbers are still wavering. And so there's still a lot of people in here. If anybody has a comment for Brian, go ahead and leave it. Or if you want to jump on in, we have the link to the StreamYard. I just posted it right there on the marquee there. But yeah, anything else, Brian?
Well, I want to say that I wanted to just point out what Darren said. The 2 hours of 6 states that stopped counting votes was never addressed. And I don't know if that was addressed or not. But if that was not addressed, that is something. And again, the media just calls it the big lie. And they talk at us. They do not talk to us. And if you're going to disrespect us, the one thing that they, maybe they can print more money, but the one thing we got to get into is effective, in my opinion, effective boycotts. I'm
agreeing here with Penny. We saw the
yeah.
fake ballot counting, the fake broken pipe water leaks, the Dems covering the windows and kicking out Republicans so they could count fake ballots, plus lots more proof. Yeah, there seems to be, to say there wasn't shenanigans is foolish.
And Penny Fry says that Trump won the debate because he wasn't there. He is absolutely the front runner. And these are questions that I have not heard, by the way, ever addressed by the Republican Party. And again, at least for respect, the Republican-controlled Congress should hold hearings on election integrity, because the questions that Darren and Penny I don't know how to say the last name, Frihas, stated. We saw the fake ballot counting, the fake broken pipe water leak, and the Dems covering the windows and kicking out reps. So they couldn't count the fake ballots, plus more proof. And that is the issue. That is the main issue right now that that a lot of the people for Trump, they say they stole it, they took it away from him. How do you stop that? How do you stop that now? And that's just my opinion. But I think we need to boycott a lot of these woke left companies. I think we need to research and identify these companies, determine which companies you feel are promoting views and actions that you disagree with. This could involve reviewing their corporate statements, and advertisement, and their philanthropic actions, and also educate yourself before committing to a boycott. It's crucial also to understand reasons behind a company's stance. Sometimes misinformation, or it could be misunderstood, and the boycott could be unjust. Got to get into that area. And most importantly, find alternatives. If you decide to stop buying from a particular company, look for alternatives that align better with your values. Strive to be respectful, but be firm. And if you're going to be disrespected, like a lot of these companies have, like a lot of these news media companies have, I think there's strength in our dollar together, and not only in America, but throughout the civilized world. I think we should join alliances, because these people are very vile and foul people. Anyway, Joe, I think I'm going to end it on this good.
Highly crucial, everybody that's here. Give us a like. We need the likes sorely. We never ask for them. Well, we do sometimes. But go ahead and give us an ad. Transparency and merit. Who wouldn't like to see more transparency and merit in our leadership? We are underrepresented. So I think if we do it again, if we can restructure this, if we have any say, then wouldn't it be nice if we could have some transparency and merit? But yes, do add us. We're going to be doing shows right here on YouTube and Rumble, and we are going to be spreading the word. And we have we have a lot of things lined up, but our March what is it? March Against the Woke.
Well, we're going to have our. Oh, put yourself on. We're going to have our walk against the woke. And by the way, I define woke as moral authoritarianism disguised as virtue. Another thing, woke leftism has promoted white guilt and racial vendetta against whites. All other groups can do certain things that whites cannot do. It's a punishing thing, and I want to get that out into the forefront. And we want a chance to have, basically, we want the court of public opinion. The internet was supposed to be the information superhighway. It is also the court of public opinion, and we as human beings deserve sway. We have the right to put our say out there as human beings. And just what was said about election integrity and the belief that this election, that there were shenanigans going on in this election, and it was unique. We had a pandemic and laws and rules were changed. However those laws and rules were changed, we need to examine those facts. And again, I'm surprised that Congress, at least out of respect for their constituents who believe that the election was rigged, that they do not have a hearing on election integrity, even to put it to bed. Those Republicans in Congress that believe that the election was not rigged need to hold a hearing on election integrity to put our questions to rest, because we still have questions. We still have, many still have questions, and they want answers, and they want to be talked to, and they want to be talked with. They don't want to be talked at. Joey, that's all I have. Like, subscribe, also on Rumble, and I put this show out on Twitter. But again, we're going to be holding, I think, our first Christmas Against the Woke, and then we want to do a national walk against the woke, because it is it's become a very toxic and very vile ideology. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, even share this video if you gain anything by it. Thank you very much.